Hello everyone, welcome back with another video on the new Stygian Onslaught difficulty, Dire. So we're back with our favorite Japanese player at this point. I think is probably one of the best player I've ever seen, if not the best player I've ever seen. They managed to clear the lava dragon statue with C0R1 Arlecchino. Of course, they had to bring Emily. I think Emily is basically mandatory for this boss, honestly. I think without Emily, if you bring triple pyro, the boss still has a lot of pyro resistance. So without Emily, you will lack a lot of damage. If you have C2 Arlecchino, I think with Nahida, it's potentially possible. But otherwise, yeah, Emily is kind of mandatory. Here, she's not using her weapon. She's using Escoffier weapon, which basically just gives a bunch of attack and some crit damage. So not necessarily the best weapon either. You can probably, they had a few seconds left. I think they do it even faster in this video. So if you have like a Jade Spear or a Staff of Homa or something like that, you can definitely swap it and give it to Emily for this run. But it's really just having C0R1 Arlecchino with very good stats, of course. The Shengling is on Engulfing, but Shengling's damage is pretty negligible in this run. So with Catch or even with Favonius, it's most likely doable. But you need a really good Arlecchino and a decent Emily. She has really good stats still. And yeah, let's. I think that most people loved or at least enjoyed the last video where I reacted to the gameplay. So maybe I'll try to like spice up my channel with a few React videos like that. I don't want to do too much React. I'm not really comfortable doing that too much in general. But since I'm more in like the English community, this is a Japanese player, so maybe I can explain their gameplay a little bit more to other people that are not necessarily watching Japanese channels and stuff like that. And yeah, I like watching very good gameplay in general, whether it's Genshin Impact or other games. And since they're playing very well, even here, like you would think there's not crazy things to do with Arlecchino, but they actually play very well. And also, they are using, if you watch my last or one of my recent videos with this Ember strat for this boss, they're using the Ember. Very good to fill the gauge of this boss. So yeah, let's get into it. We're using Arlecchino. Oh, Arlecchino's team is the best. I mean, not the best, but like it's one of the best. I love it. So they start by proccing the Favge, and then they just drop the Dole from Ember and the Guoba. And then they spawn the Emily skill, of course, to start proccing the Burn. And then you want to funnel as much energy as possible into Shengling. With the Favonius and a lot of energy on Ember, you can burst pretty fast, and they basically get 2 bursts really fast. And you see 25 seconds in, the boss shield is already broken. With Arlecchino, with triple pyro, it goes very fast, plus the burn. Also, they are doing some 1-2-3 dash, 1-2-3 dash, yeah, with the Arlecchino. Sometimes some charge attack, especially to break the shield. They're doing 1 normal attack into charge attack with Arlecchino to go a bit faster, and it applies a decent amount of pyro on top of the Ember and the burn. And yeah, just refresh everything. The Emily does a lot of damage. But you can see with Ember and Shengling, the shield disappears super fast. And yeah, I mean, the Arlecchino is not doing like a crazy amount of damage, but 40k, 50k. When the boss is down, I think the resistance is like very low. Like, it still has a little bit of pyro resistance. I'll show it on the screen at some point, just to make sure. And when the shield is not down at all, or when the gauge is not filled, the resistance is still pretty high for pyro, so she doesn't really do a lot of damage until the boss is completely down. And you can see here with triple pyro, they are able to get a triple full gauge on the boss, so it's going to be down a 3rd time thanks to triple pyro plus burn. And yeah, you can see the Emily, tons of damage. Ember on Favonius to generate as much energy as possible to Shengling that has like 200 plus with engulfing, and then yeah, 1-2-3 dash, 1-2-3 dash, and refresh sometimes the bone of life on Arlecchino with the charge attack. And you can see here her stats are insane. 89, 208 with signature. 2.4k attack is crazy. She doesn't need EM because we're not vaping, melting, whatever. So C0R1, new set, of course. I mean, new set, Fragment, Whimsy, whatever. I don't remember the name of the artifact set. 10, 6, 10. Did they even use the burst a single time? I don't think they used Arlecchino burst a single time. It's not really worth it. It's most likely a waste of time. It only applies one pyro, and then you're just losing like 2-3 seconds of animation, so almost never burst. And you don't really need to burst because like you got enough time to like refresh your skill and stuff like that. So and you don't take that much damage. So the Shengling, yeah, the Shengling 240 energy, 164, a little bit different build than the last video, I think, but still pretty good. 2k attack, engulfing, 4-piece emblem, C6, and double crown. The Emily's build is pretty good. 77, 241, so very, very nice stats. A little bit of energy, but energy on Emily, yeah, 130 is fine. You got the Fab from Ember as well. Arlecchino generates a decent amount of particles as well, even if it's not Dendro. She's using Escofia's weapon, which basically gives a bunch of attack, 24% attack from the passive, and then okay base attack, and then 66 crit damage, so that's why the ratio looks pretty good. Also, she is using Reverie because Ember is going to be on Deepwood Memories. Deepwood to increase Emily's damage, and then this set here is going to give more damage to Emily than if she was on Deepwood. So very good optimization here with the sets. She's not even crowned. She's not even crowned, so still had room for improvement actually. Wait, that's crazy. Not even double crown. And then here, yeah, Ember 237 energy, still pretty good stats. The crit rate for the Favj R5, 4-piece Deepwood for basically buffing Emily. There's not really anything you can do to buff Arlecchino, and Emily is a big part of the damage still. C6. So basically here, they're not even using the shot to explode the dolls. Like, they just spawn them, do normal attacks to proc the Favj. Use her burst, and then you still get the energy when the dolls explode. So it's actually maybe even better to not do the charge attack, so you don't even need constellations. And then talents on Ember don't matter, like it doesn't improve much anything. So very, very good clear, honestly. Very, very good clear. Yeah, I think unfortunately if you play Arlecchino, or if you play Kinich, or if you play a team like that, Emily is pretty necessary. We've seen some Mualani clears where they don't use Emily, they use Nahida instead, which, because Mualani has a lot more front-loaded damage, and if you play properly, you can get a ton of damage, way more than with Arlecchino. But if you play triple Pyro, you will most likely need Emily, unless you have C2 Arlecchino, unless you have really, really insane stats, maybe even better than this video. But I think in general, Emily is going to be pretty necessary for these type of setups. Because she has so much damage, very good Dendro app. You basically have 0 on-field time. So yeah, Emily is pretty necessary, but yeah, we've seen that there are other teams that work. Some people manage to work with Varesa Overload, with C0R1 Mualani. So there's a lot of options. And yeah, I mean, if you play good, if you have very good builds, once again, through this game mode is pretty difficult, especially on Div 6. It's like, most people will be like, all right, it's just for Wells, and I don't want to spend hours and hours trying to optimize my gameplay. But personally, I've been switching around my builds a lot to try to optimize my builds for this specific challenge and optimize my rotation. It's been a lot of fun, so I don't know. It depends. To each their own, you know. Like, some people just want to have an easy time. Some people want like real difficulty optimizing the rotation and stuff like that. True, it's a lot of HP increase for not particularly any reason, but I think it's still been pretty fun. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this reaction, about this clear. Make sure you check them out. I'll put the link to their channel. Actually, it's on their second channel here, so I'll put a link to both their channel because they do insane gameplay. And yeah, hope to see you on the next video. Bye-bye.